How the narcissist feels when you're not there. Just come out to see a few crocodiles at this wetlands park. I got my flight in the morning. I am taking off. I'm going to be doing a lot more traveling, exploring, and taking you with me as well. You will get to see everything. Yes, I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling starting from tomorrow. Exploring a new country. I've been there before, but so yes, I'm really looking forward to it and taking you along with me as well. It will be good. I'll have a lot more new pictures and videos on my Instagram. So if you haven't followed me on there yet, it is Narc Survivor YouTube on Instagram. But yes, onto this one. How does the narcissist feel when you're not there? When they're around you, they seem confident, they're in charge, they're in control. They always have to call the shots. They always have to tell you what to do. But actually, the reason why they're so controlling, the reason why is because they are actually very insecure. And they're trying to find some form of security in controlling you. Because they can't control themselves. They lack discipline. But they feel as though if they can control you or someone else, then they can control themselves. That is how they see it. And yes, when they do manipulate your emotions, it regulates theirs. It temporarily distracts them from how they really feel about themselves. It's a way for them to dodge the shame. But of course, when you're not there and they are alone, then that shame begins to come up as a result of everything that they did to you. And then they start to feel like they're a bad person. Because yes, they know what they did wrong. And they understand the effects that it had on you. Which is why they just can't be alone. They always have to have people around them. They've always got to have new supply. Because otherwise they're left alone with their thoughts, with their shame, with these unhealed traumas, these unprocessed emotions, which they are left to reflect on. And then they feel like they're a bad person. They feel like they're no good. They're worthless. They're insignificant. Which is quite funny when you think about it. Because when they come around you, how do they make you feel? They make you feel like you're nothing. They bring up the shame in you. Because what they're actually doing is they're projecting their shame onto you. They're projecting everything they hate about themselves and assigning it to you. And when they're doing that, they are disowning parts of who they actually are. Which is why you look at them and it's like they have no sense of self, no identity. They don't even know who they are. They project the bad parts onto you or someone else. And then they create this false character based on whatever they think you want to see. When that is not something that we should do. That is a very bad thing to do. Because these parts of ourselves that we may not like, that we deem to be unattractive or undesirable, that we deem to be less than satisfactory, these parts of ourselves, we must accept them. We cannot push them down. If you can't change or improve it, then you just have to accept it. Let go of the resistance to it. Otherwise, it will control you and it will dominate every experience in your life. Which, of course, is why when you look at the narcissist, you can tell that something is constantly consuming them. Something is constantly playing on their mind. And of course, that is their shame, their feelings of not being good enough, which they try to disown onto you, but it keeps coming back, which is why they can never be alone. Because they resist it. They try to get rid of it. And if they can't do that, then they run away from you. If you bring up their shame, they will run away from you. But actually, what they're really doing is they are running from themselves. When they ghost you, when they discard you, it's because you made them feel some type of way unknowingly. You may not have even intended to do that, but that is how they made them feel. They knew they couldn't get their way with you. You weren't going to be this emotional sponge. You weren't going to take on their emotions. So then they had to get rid of you. But yes, this is how they feel when you're not there. They feel like they're nothing. How they feel when you're not there is most likely how you feel when they are there. Because then they disown these parts of themselves and they project it onto you. They try to make you feel that. Because these thoughts and emotions are constantly playing on their mind. And the irony is that these things that they hate about themselves, for some of them, it may not even be that bad. If they would just accept it and then try to change or improve it, or even just reframe the way they think about it, then they may actually not even be that bad people to be around. But that's why it's so difficult for us to even be around them. Because they don't accept themselves. They don't accept what is wrong with them. They don't accept their shame. And whenever you're around them, you already know exactly what is coming. You already know they're going to be on you, complaining, arguing, pointing out all of these things wrong with you. When if you've watched my videos, you should know it has nothing to do with you. It's all just these projections because they can't deal with it. It's too painful for them. When it's a shame because, as I said, for some of them, who they actually are may not even have been that bad. And maybe you could have had an okay relationship with them if they just allowed their shame to surface and they processed it. I'm not saying that means that they could have changed. I mean, this is something that requires lifelong dedication, discipline, self-control. I don't believe that it's something that ever goes away completely. As Dr. Ramani said, it's like stretching a rubber band. You can stretch it as much as you want, but it's always going to go back to its original position. And I would say that it's also like going to the gym. You have to go to the gym often. You need to have a good diet. You need to get plenty of sleep. You need to drink lots of water so that you can stay in shape. Which is the same thing with these narcissists. Even if they do develop some level of self-awareness, they do need to stay in shape mentally and emotionally. And not only that, but they need to find alternatives instead of constantly projecting and causing all of this drama. They need to find healthy coping strategies that are not harmful to other people. Because that's really the only way that they're going to be able to maintain it. Because that's what it is. It requires maintenance, lifelong maintenance. In my opinion, at least based on what I've researched and experienced. But not only that, but there needs to be an incentive for them to do that. Because of course, they're not just going to do it for no reason. They may have some level of empathy. It may be very low. But they need to value and appreciate the relationship that they have with you. Because hopefully that is what will make them loyal and devoted to conquering their disorder. Doesn't mean that it will completely go away, but as long as they can stay on top of it, and in a way they need to develop their own kind of triggers, something that keeps them in line. But if they go too far, they recognize your pain and then it stops them. So that's really the only way that they could ever do that. I'm not saying that it is impossible. Of course, whoever they're with needs to have a lot of patience and self-control as well. Because it's not just something that can change overnight. It does take a lot of dedication. But when you're not there, yes, they will be going through it if they are alone. Which is why it's probably very rare that they will ever be alone. They're always going to have some sort of supply. Even their own children are often their supply as well. So they've always got people there. And there's also these communal narcissists. They may donate to charities. And they're always at these communal groups because that is a source of supply for them as well. They're just addicted to people. They've always got to have people around them, people to prop up this image of them being all powerful and significant, of them being desirable and attractive, of them being everything that they want to be, everything that they wish they were. And of course, if you're not going to do that for them, if you're not going to see them in the way that they want to be seen, I mean, first it's going to be the manipulation, the love bombing. They want you to see them as desirable or attractive, or as someone who is just a good person. They're kind, compassionate, helpful. If you're not going to see them in that way and you question and confront them, or you threaten to expose them, then you're going to get this other character where they are all powerful, they're dominant, they coerce you, they control you. And if you don't fall for that, and they still can't keep you down, then they're just going to ghost you, discard you, because they need to have that control over their target. As I said, they're very insecure. They need to control you and manipulate your emotions to regulate theirs. And if they can't do that, then yes, they will just get rid of you. They will find someone else. Of course, that's why they have all of these tools. They've got the denial, the projection, blame shifting, gaslighting, the double bind. All of these things to make you lose your mind so that they have control of you. Because a lot of you, you're that grade A source. And it is very difficult for them to find someone else like you. You may be highly sensitive. You may be an emotional sponge, an empath. And yes, there aren't too many of us around anymore. So it is very difficult for them to replace you. And if you leave first, they will experience abandonment anxiety. They may start a smear campaign against you. They will try to tear you down in order to control you. So yes, all things to be aware of. When you're not there, when no one is there, narcissists can be extremely dangerous. If they don't have anyone, anything, no support system, there is really no telling what they will do. They could go from being a covert narcissist to an overt, and they could become very aggressive. They could lash out at people. Without supply, they are very unpredictable. So as I've advised before, if you're in contact with them, it can be good just to give them a little something. Don't completely resist them. Don't completely oppose them. Because if you do that, they will come down on you like a ton of bricks. They will seek to destroy you. And if it's not you, then they will, in some cases, they will wait very patiently. And then they will find an unsuspecting target and they will take it out on them. That is just how it goes with narcissists. So, to learn from my own mistakes in the past, if you're still in contact with them, don't completely cut them out or ignore them. Give them a little something. Don't completely resist them. If you're going to disappear, if you're going to go into contact, fade out gradually. And then things will be much better for you. Okay, I'm going now, sorry. Getting kicked out. Park's closing. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up down below if it was helpful. And as always, I will talk to you in another one very soon.